Fully edged. How to sharpen up your knives.
Hi everyone, welcome to Fully Edged. My name is Katie Askelson and I'm going to be your trainer for today's session. So in today's session, we're going to be learning how to sharpen up those knife skills. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, okay, knives are already sharp. Why in the world would I want to sharpen them? Well, let's talk about a few reasons why it actually is very beneficial to sharpen up your knives.
The first reason is more people are cooking at home, and having proper tools and techniques in the kitchen can make cooking more fun and easier. The next reason is that it's safer. A sharp blade is more predictable, it won't slip, and it makes it easier to control as it slices through food. It also makes meal preparation a lot quicker. It can also have lasting health benefits by avoiding or exacerbating carpal tunnel.
Now we know why it's really important to sharpen our knives. Let's talk about some of the objectives for today's session.
Our overall objective is we want you to feel confident in using a Chancery knife sharpener, as well as being able to safely sharpen your kitchen knives. However, we also want you to be able to properly demonstrate knife safety, as well as properly being able to sharpen your knives.
Before today's training session, I sent everybody out a pre-survey. In that pre-survey, I wanted to find out what your kitchen experience was, how confident you feel with handling knives, as well as if you had any concerns about today's session. Let's cover the results of these surveys.
Looking at the results of the survey, 8% said that they were very experienced, 30% said some experience, 59% said little experience, and 3% said no experience. Looking at confidence with knives, 3% of you said you were very confident, 80% said you were fairly confident, 10% of you said you had little confidence, and 7% of you said you had absolutely no confidence. Now, the biggest concern that came up for everybody was using the knife sharpening tools. Don't worry, we're going to take it step by step, and we're also going to make sure we do a few activities beforehand so you feel very confident in the kitchen.
Now that we've established where everybody's at in their kitchen experience, it's time to do a knife safety quiz. Now, the reason why we want to do this is we want you guys to feel really confident with handling knives and being safe in the kitchen. And to do this, we just thought it'd be a little bit more fun if we did it in a quiz form. Now, if everyone can get into groups of 4, let's cover a few safety questions.
So our first question is, how should you pass a kitchen knife to somebody? Lock in your answers with your group.
So the answer to our first question is C. We don't want to necessarily physically hand knives to people because that's pretty dangerous. So we like to place it on a flat surface so that the next person can pick it up. And that way it minimizes the chance that somebody might drop it or somebody might accidentally get poked.
Our next question is, how should you place your non-dominant hand on the item you are cutting? Lock in your answers.
The correct answer is A. So you're going to want to curl your fingers on your non-dominant hand. That way we keep our sensitive fingertips away from the knife and we can minimize the chance that we accidentally cut ourselves. This next section is called Learn and Do. So what's going to happen is you're going to pair up with a partner who either has more knife experience than you or less knife experience than you. In this session, we're going to teach you guys how to safely sharpen knives, and after you've learned the technique, you're going to sharpen the knives on your own, and you're going to switch between partners and partners. During the session, your partner will give you any feedback or critiques on your knife handling skills, as well as reminding you of any safety tips. Now, during the session, I will be coming around to check on your form and make sure that you are handling your knife safely. All right, let's get into this.
This is our Chancery knife sharpener. As you can see, it has a handle where you can hold and grip it, and this is where you sharpen your knife with. Now you want to make sure that your knife is not wet and that it's completely dry as well as clean. To sharpen your knife using this technique, you're going to grasp it firmly, take your knife between the two wheat stones, and then make one smooth motion Now you're going to want to do this several times until your knife is able to slice cleanly. I'm going to show you a different angle so that you're able to see it a little bit better. Remember, one smooth motion. You don't want to get caught up into those wheat stones. Alright, now we're going to do a knife sharpening test. To do this, we are going to actually use a piece of paper. So if your knife is able to cut that piece of paper very cleanly and easily using little effort at a 90-degree angle, that means that it is sharp enough.
All right, it is time for our last segment, which is Knife Showdown. In this session, what you're going to do is you're going to properly sharpen your knife. You're going to test the sharpness using the paper test that we showed you earlier. And then lastly is you're going to try to cut that tomato slice into 5 different slices. Now, we are going to be graded off a rubric, and you do have 2 tries to do this. With the first try, we are just trying to see where you're at and if there needs to be any tweaks to your technique and knife safety skills. After you've had your first try, you are going to move on to your second try. We're going to try to implement the changes that we talked to you about. And then we're going to give you confirming feedback on how well you did. All right, let's go ahead and get into groups and do our knife showdown.
All right, this is the rubric that we're going to grade you off of. We are looking at knife safety, sharpness of knife, and knife sharpening technique. The better you are, the higher the score. And don't worry, you're going to have 2 tries in order to be able to get this done.
And that concludes our training session for Fully Edged, How to Sharpen Your Kitchen Knives. We hope you're walking away from this feeling more confident with your knife handling techniques and knowing how to sharpen those kitchen knives, as well as feeling a little bit safer in the kitchen. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you soon.